Love Beyond Heaven and Hell, the Mystical Wisdom of Rabia al-Basri. Peace and love, peace and namaste, my soul friends, and welcome to our meditation practice and our series exploring the thoughts of mystical women. Hi, Liv. Hi, Basilia. Hi, Sharon. Today, I want to share with you a brief yet profound poem by Sufi Rabia al-Basri. Bashiri. I think I'm saying that right. She was an 8th century Sufi mystic whose radical love for the divine, for Allah, for Brahman, continues to resonate across the centuries. And this isn't a sentimental poem. It's a bold, mystical declaration that reorients the soul's relationship to Allah, away from fear, away from reward, and toward the deepest form of love for the divine alone. Now, Rabia al-Basri, circa 717 to 801 Common Common Era, CE, was a pioneering female Sufi mystic from Basra, Iraq, and one of the earliest and most revered saints in all of Islamic history. Born into poverty, she eventually was sold into slavery. She was later freed because of her extraordinary piety and devotion to God. Rabia is best known for her teachings on divine love, a love of God that is pure, selfless, and not motivated by fear of hell or desire for paradise. I was interviewed this week by an intelligent, kind, evangelical Christian for his podcast. And as I spoke about my near-death experience, I got to the point of discussing my time in hell, and he was upset that it wasn't eternal fire of damnation. So many people are motivated by their fear of punishment. Rabia writes, "If I adore you, capital Y, if I adore you out of fear of hell, burn me in hell. If I adore you out of desire for paradise, lock me out of paradise. But if I adore you for yourself alone, do not deny me your eternal beauty." This is the voice of a mystic who is burning away her egoic motivations. Rabia isn't bargaining with God. She's not seeking protection from suffering, nor blissful rewards. She's seeking God alone, not the gifts. This is Isheka Hakiki, that God alone, true, absolute, selfless love. This is what she's speaking of. It's an Islamic term. I'm sure I didn't say it right. But she's talking about true, absolute, selfless love. And as a near-death experiencer, I recognize this voice. I've heard this longing in myself and in others who have touched the infinite, who the infinite has touched. When I died in the Canadian wilderness, I encountered a love that asked nothing and gave everything. A love that obliterated my sense of self while revealing the truth with a capital T of who and what I really am, but who you really are. And Rabia's words reflect this same fire. She knows the dangers of a spiritual ego, how even religious devotion can become self-serving, how even the desire for paradise can become a veil that hides the face of our beloved. She begins with this fierce paradox. If I adore you out of fear of hell, burn me in hell. In the mystical path, fear may begin the journey, but it can't complete it. Fear is a motivator of the ego, rooted in the need for survival. However, divine union isn't achieved through preservation, it's achieved through surrender. Rabia would rather endure hell itself than allow fear to corrupt her love for God. Then she says, if I adore you out of desire for paradise, lock me out of paradise. This line embodies a certain spiritual audacity. She renounces paradise not because it's false, but because to desire it is still to desire something other than Allah. It's an egoic thing. Mystics across traditions agree. The soul must learn to seek not the gifts of God, but God's presence, this energy that I know that you've felt. We feel it when we practice together. Not the garden, but the gardener with a capital G. Not the light, but the source of the light. And then comes her central affirmation. But if I adore you for yourself alone, and this is the essence of our mystical path, pure adoration, uncaused by fear and unmotivated by reward. Meister Eckhart once wrote, I ask God to rid me of God, meaning rid me of the false images of God I've created in my mind, the God of my projections, of my desires, of my theology. What remains after all those are burned away? Only love itself. In the Kabbalah, it mirrors the soul's yearning to cleave, devukut, to the cleave to the infinite without regard for reward. And finally, do not deny me your eternal beauty. This final line is not a request for paradise. It's the soul's longing to behold the face of the beloved. In Sufi terms, it is the Jamal, the divine beauty. In Hebrew mysticism, we refer to it as the Shekinah, the indwelling presence. And in Christian mysticism, we can call it the beatific vision, the beatific vision. And Rabia asks, only to see what the mystics call the real, what I saw as the real with a capital R, the real, the realist, the hidden, uncreated light that shines through all things, including herself. And her prayer is not a transaction. I give you this, you give me that. It's about transformation. It's not the religion of merit and reward. Believe this, get that. This is the mysticism of annihilation and love, of fana in the Islamic Sufi tradition, fana, of being lost in the divine such that only the beloved remains. And maybe we can touch into it in this life. Maybe it can be a permanent state for us. But mostly we just touch into this beloved nature. And that's enough, my friends. And that, my friends, is the same uncreated light I met when I died. It's not the light outside me. It was a light that is me, was me, will be me, always has been. And in that moment of recognition, there was no fear, no reward, no ego, only eternal beauty. And Rabia al-Basri stands in this long tradition of mystics, Christian, Jewish, Hindu, Sufi, and Buddhist, among others, who have taught that Allah is not a means to an end. The beloved is the end. And more than that, goodness itself is the means. It's the end and the means, the beloved, the goodness, the love itself is the path, and love is the destination. And if you hear her words and feel that fire in your own heart, that longing for the eternal beyond fear and desire, then you're already on the path, as I know many of you are. So let's walk it together in peace. And as they say in the Orthodox tradition, Amen. Peace. I'm going to check a chat for a second, then we're going to dive into some meditation. Good morning, Basilia and Sharon. I wonder, let's see, I wonder, may fear begin the journey but not complete it. This is true. It can begin your journey, but don't let it complete it. The frequency of pure love, like the pure love of a child's love of mother and a mother's love for child, no ego, tit for tat. Hey, Amy. All right, let's get to some meditation. I need to set my alarm, and I think I leave it up too high for you guys, but I'm going to set it for 8:30, make sure it's turned down low. There we go. So here's the meditation. I'm going to start us out today. If you're just joining us, we spent about 20 minutes or so in meditation, and that's the whole point of this morning, of every morning that we gather. Is the instructions excellent because we're reading these excellent mystics, but the practice matters most, in my humble opinion. It's important to feed the mind, but more important to feed the heart. And so sit comfortably for a moment, feet on the floor, spine is erect. You can lift up if you want to. You can close your eyes. Let your breath become slow and gentle, not forced. Become aware of your breathing and bring your awareness to your heart center, to the center of your chest, to the heart chakra. And on the inhale, silently say, I adore you. I adore you. I adore you. On the inhale. And on the exhale, say, silently, not for heaven, not for fear, only you. Not for heaven, not for fear, only you. I adore you, not for heaven, not for fear, only you. Repeat it with each breath. Drop into your own chant or mantra, or as you practice, do your practice. Begin with these and let your heart speak beyond words, beyond thought, into silence, into radiant love, and rest there. No asking, no seeking, only loving. I adore you, not for heaven, not for fear, only you. See you in about 16 minutes. Peace and love, everyone. Hi, Taizan. Thank you for being here. May you all find this sustaining today, as Wanda says. Me too. Thank you. Peace.